On this Memorial Day, we remember more than 1 million men and women who have died in our country's wars. One Iraq veteran wrote a best-selling book for those who served in wartime, lost friends or loved ones, or simply came back different. Carter Evans talked with the graphic artist behind The White Donkey.
Why'd you want to become a Marine?
It wasn't so much that I wanted to be a Marine as much as I wanted to go to Iraq, and I wanted to experience something crazy. And so for me, it was like, what's the quickest way I can get to Iraq? And that is join the Marine Corps Infantry.
Was there a point where you said, uh-oh, what have I got myself into?
As soon as I got off that bus and I was on these yellow footprints and there was a dude screaming in my face, I was like, what did I do? This is a terrible idea.
You may not recognize Maximilian Uriarte, but military men and women around the world know the characters he created.
I appreciate what you do, like it makes my day.
In his comic strip, Terminal Lance.
Thank you so much, Max.
Yeah.
He has hundreds of thousands of followers on social media, and for some, his message and his drawings have left a permanent mark. Like the title of his comic strip, Max is a Terminal Lance, which means he only achieved the low rank of Lance Corporal. He started sketching when he came back from his first deployment in Iraq, turning his experience into art.
I found that there wasn't really anything that accurately represented sort of my generation of Marines. It was really geared toward the older generation, the Oorah, Semper Fi.
Terminal Lance pokes fun at the Marine Corps in a satirical way, whether it's joking about the food or more serious issues like training and promotions.
Were you worried that you were going to get some pushback?
Oh yeah. Every day I thought I was going to get in trouble for it.
Especially when he makes fun of those in command, because even retired Marine Corps four-star General John F. Kelly reads Max's comics.
Because I was once a Terminal Lance, I get a little bit more of a chuckle out of it than a lot of people will. It expresses frustration, it expresses lack of understanding, it expresses a lot of different emotions, but I think it's almost always spot on.
No longer on active duty, Max now spends his days sketching every comic by hand, drawing on his own experience to tackle tough issues.
In this strip, I really wanted to talk about the general apathy that your civilian friends back home have toward your Marine Corps experience.
In the first panel, Abe, the main character, is preparing to join the Marines. The second panel shows him returning from his first tour of duty.
And he's telling him, I just got back from Iraq. I've had a lot of profound and life-changing experiences. And his buddy back home is in the exact same spot, looks exactly the same, and says, cool, did you kill anyone?
You get back and everyone else is just the same.
Everybody's exactly the same, doing the same things they were when you left.
Me personally, I didn't feel like I belonged anywhere anymore.
Ben Marcatel was also a Terminal Lance in the Marines. When he was deployed in Iraq, he saw his friend get shot. Back home, he couldn't stop thinking it was his fault.
Eventually, it just turned into drugs and alcohol and other vices. It was a very destructive path.
Then he discovered the comic strip and Max's best-selling graphic novel, The White Donkey, which takes on a serious tone with topics like PTSD and suicide.
Reading everything that the author had put down, Maximilian had written, it helped show me a version of myself that I had been dealing with and battling for the better part of a decade now. I do truly believe that it wasn't my fault. I know that it wasn't my fault. It means a lot to me that I can actually say that out loud.
I wanted to tell a story that really represented the reality of how combat deployments can go and how you can, lose people that are really close to you really instantaneously. And it creates a conflict that doesn't have a resolution.
After reading The White Donkey, Ben Marcatel realized he could turn his life around, and he's now studying to be a therapist.
I have something that they can laugh at and identify with.
Max hopes civilians will also read the book to get a better understanding of the emotional experience thousands of men and women in uniform bring home from war.
As it's been voiced to me a lot of times, sir, I'm really glad they don't understand what I've been through. Because if they did, they'd have been through it themselves. And it's better that they don't know what I'm talking about.
For CBS This Morning, Carter Evans, Los Angeles.
Humor finding a way to heal. Yes. Amazing thing.